Okay, so I would like for each of you to answer this question. I'd like to ask people that have accomplished a lot this question. What was your biggest mistake? Preferably one that was embarrassing. What was your biggest mistake in your career? Don't all talk at once.
I pick from many things. Biggest mistake, I think, at the outset was not recognizing some of the things that we've shared. It's all about the people. We work with systems, but at the end of the day, we're investing ourselves with our colleagues and all the people that are in the organization and the outside stakeholders in the organization. And that took a while for me to learn. But knowing that actually makes the whole experience, for-profit, not-for-profit, doesn't make a difference. A lot richer to know and work with people, which then turns into the greatest benefit that you have, which is to assist people in realizing things, fulfilling themselves in ways that they might not have thought they were able to. So that has to do with staff, mentorship in the organization. It has to do with who you're coaching, even if they're not with you. So that lesson learned turned on its ear, turns into one of the greatest satisfactions that you have in a position.
Interesting. As I've been with the USO for 9 years, and obviously coming into the nonprofit space was quite eye-opening for me, coming from the for-profit sector. And we can talk for the next hour about a lot of the different specific mistakes. But as you categorize them, from my perspective, is as a CFO, sometimes you think you kind of have all the answers, and you shoot first and you aim second. And taking a more measured approach is not just important just for the sake of being more measured, but it helps gain more influence in your organization to help influence change for good. So if you're shooting first and aiming second, you're creating a lot of ripples within the organization, which ultimately doesn't benefit the organization. So the approach and the tenor that you take at the job is really important to win the respect of your colleagues, your team members, because the team members are the ones that are helping really influence the change, and you're there to try to influence that. So I didn't give you a specific example, but
I would love that. You don't have to. You don't want to.
I guess for me, philosophically, I don't like to look back at things and think of them as mistakes or failures. I'm sure I've made my share of them. I like to look at them as learning experiences and learn from it, grow from it, and just keep looking ahead and not looking over my shoulder at those kinds of things. I agree with what Tom said about the people. I think that's the most important thing, the relationship that I have with my peers at the Toy Industry Association is probably the most valuable thing that I can bring to the table.
So I'd say probably similar to Tom's comment that when I came from for-profit to nonprofit, I would say my biggest mistake was really misunderstanding how to motivate people. At the Home Depot, we're a hugely competitive culture. You mentioned Lowe's, you mentioned any other competitor, and people are frothing at the mouth. And people will work all night, work all weekend. They don't care. They just want to win. Very different process of motivating people in the nonprofit world. And when I got to Good 360, was my first experience in nonprofit, I was thinking, I was bringing a lot of discipline. I was bringing metrics and dashboards and all these great things that were going to help the organization really understand how they were performing. And I was there for a few months, and we conducted this big business review, which I thought would be enlightening to the staff. And about halfway through it, I could tell that nobody in the room, aside from probably the CEO and a couple people on the leadership team, nobody in the room cared about the numbers that we were talking through. Nobody was really interested in all. And I thought I was being very transparent and open and helpful. But I totally missed the mission side of things, right? I was just looking at the metrics and the numbers. And to Tom's point also, translating all of that stuff into here's what we can do with these resources, here's the strategy of how we're going to get there, and really connecting everything to mission, became, it's super obvious now, but at the time it